In this session, we explore two architectures of mind, the ego and the spirit. We will deconstruct how the ego operates as a defensive system and contrast it with the spirit's alignment with truth. Our goal is to build a practical understanding you can apply to your own thinking and decision-making. Our mind currently runs two incompatible operating systems. The ego is a fabricated defense mechanism. The spirit is our natural inheritance. Treating them as compatible has held the ego together, but it has also split our mind. We will examine how this division shows up in daily choices. The ego is not a real self. It is a constructed belief. Disconnected from truth, it feels constantly at risk. Because it fears its own non-existence, it must keep proving itself. This slide's maze illustrates that restless effort. Complex, busy, but ultimately going nowhere. Here we map the ego's confirmation loop. It begins with the illusion of separation, which generates fear of non-existence. That fear is projected outward as defense, which then perceives threat, and finally finds validation that the ego must exist. Understanding this cycle is key to interrupting it. The ego survives by fixating on specifics. It links isolated events into a false pattern of danger, a spurious generalization that justifies more defense. By recognizing this pattern-making habit, we can question whether the threats we see are real or simply products of selective attention. In contrast, the spirit does not analyze or defend. It responds uniformly to what is true and disregards what is false. This is called divine abstraction. It rests on the certainty that everything truly created is safe, and it remains in direct communication with that reality at all times. This comparison summarizes the two operating systems. The ego seeks self-preservation through specificity, viewing the body as a limit and acting from fear. The spirit extends joy and creation, using the body as a means of communication, grounded in peace and genuine helpfulness. The deprivation equation explains how ego thinking fuels depression. First, we feel deprived. Second, the ego blames external forces. Third, truth reminds us we are deprived only by our own decisions. The remedy is a new decision, to withdraw belief from deprivation and choose abundance. Escaping the ego is not a fight. It is a shift in allegiance. When your mood signals you have chosen wrongly, you can simply toggle your mind toward willingness. The message is clear. Sadness and depression belong to the ego, and you are free to choose peace instead. True helpfulness radiates outward. In full communication with the Creator, the mind no longer protects an ego and therefore becomes invulnerable. From this state, our actions add joy to the wider system, what this slide calls the kingdom, by extending clarity, support, and shared purpose. The spirit does not attack the ego's wall. It simply recognizes it as an empty construct and steps around it. This approach models respectful discernment. We can acknowledge what the ego has built without honoring it as truth, and quietly choose to operate from a higher perspective. Finally, the ego's illusion survives only through our belief. We do not need to destroy it. We only need to stop confirming it. When we withdraw that confirmation, the dark glass of misperception falls away, revealing the clear light of a mind aligned with truth and spirit.